Okay, so part two of my awning cleaning secrets. The first thing you got to do is you want to mist the awning. Get the whole thing just a little bit damp. The reason for that is you want to let this junk on here, it's all bird poop and everything, let that get a little bit soft. Okay? Now as it's wet, you can see just how dark, and you can look close here at all this algae and this mildew. It's just crazy caked on there. Okay, this crazy thickness just caked. You can see the scratches I just put in there. That's how thick it is with my fingernail. And so you just keep going down the path. Okay, and you let that water just soften that up. Now we want to break off whatever loose stuff, and it won't be much, you know. You're not going to get this off with water. You might get some of the bird poop off, but that would be about it. I'm just taking off the stuff that I know you can just rinse off with a water hose. As you can see, I have my max water pressure from my water hose. Never use pressure washers. This fabric was designed to clean with regular water pressure from a house, not from a machine. You just take and knock off the loose stuff, okay? And then you let that set for a minute, okay? Next step is the third step in this process, and that is to get my product over here. Okay, and just getting a real standard house pump for spraying your garden or whatever. Okay, give it a couple of pumps. Remember now, if your pump is pretty full, you don't want to put a lot of pressure on it. Don't pump it a lot; it'll blow that pump right up. Okay, so just give it enough to get it some pressure in it. Okay, now normally I wouldn't set this on the awning, but it doesn't matter right now. It's on the table, and so right now I'm gonna just give this a little spray. Test my spray, make sure it's working, and get this soaked down. Okay, let's get it soaked down. Now this is going to thin my product out quite a bit because there's a lot of water sitting here on this fabric, but I'm okay with that. It's going to take a little bit more work, or I might even have to just let it set a little longer, but that's quite all right. So we'll just shoot this whole thing right here, get all this thing sprayed down. You can see all that green algae now. It's really starting to show where all that algae is. This is a horrible mess of an awning. This is so thick. Okay, so we're going to get that on there, and we'll just let that set. I'll put a little more right here because I had the pump sitting there. Okay, so we'll let that sit on there for a while. Okay, and probably 5 or 10 minutes. We want to make sure at the very least that we don't let this fabric dry out. We don't let the product dry on the fabric, ever. Never let the product dry on the fabric. 2 reasons. It can ruin the fabric, and this can get very expensive. Putting product on there, and once it dries out, it stops working. And so as you can see, it's not really doing too much. We're going to let that set, and as soon as we're ready to touch it up a little bit, I'll turn you back on and we'll go to part 3.